The Buddha spoke of two qualities that protect the world, Hiri and Ottappa. Together, they guide us as we discern how to live skillfully, ethically, with others, how to live in ways that don't cause harm. Hiri Ottappa means conscience and concern for the welfare of others. They are what naturally arise when we have an unkind thought about someone and wisely refrain from saying it. We know how it would feel. We sense the harm. We don't want to feel the regret or disappointment of those we respect. And we all want to feel respect. These two guideposts steer the heart between how we feel about ourselves before, during, or after acting unskillfully, and how respected others might think and feel about us based on our unskillful behavior. We can't really have a functioning society without these two, without giving a damn about how we or others think of us and our behavior. We don't live in isolation. We live in constant relationship with others. Hiri Ottappa's motto is, I value you and you value me. No, I value you and I value me. Enough to not cause harm. Not because I'm trying to be a good girl, no. They arise not based on fear, but on empathy, on feeling enough to sense the harm that could be caused. It is that ability to step in another's shoes, feel from that position, and out of that inquiry, consider how to respond skillfully. Though commonly translated as shame and fear for our moral transgressions, Hiri Ottappa is really rooted in respecting, honoring, and valuing of life, all life, human, animal, right down to the insects. To develop these qualities, we have to take stock of where we are in their development. Do we know when we are about to say or do something that would cause trouble? Is that sensibility available to you? Do we know how we'll be perceived by those we respect if they were to have seen this behavior? Is that sensibility available to you? My teacher, Ajahn Sucitto, once said that when he has any doubt about taking an action, he imagines doing it in front of his teacher. And if it still feels okay, he'll proceed. I find this a useful practice, a way of checking in on our skillfulness. And depending upon who we use as a respected friend, becomes the benchmark for our behavior. This is a good idea because, generally speaking, the mind doesn't want to acknowledge bad habits. It hides imperfections in busyness, distractions, and convenient excuses. Who wants to feel uncomfortable? But we need to feel uncomfortable when we have or are about to do something unskillful. It is necessary that we begin to feel that uncomfortableness. This is how we grow more mature in our heart's empathetic attunement to our own and others' welfare. Likewise, the mind of society, the collective mind, doesn't really want us to see the truth, to see the effect, or feel the harm we have caused others. Many of us know, sort of, out of the corner of our eyes, for example, how we Americans are negatively perceived by many around the world. Well, this isn't a comfortable position, a comfortable feeling. I know it firsthand, feeling the shame of being American. I also know shame right now as a white person. Adaptive shame, as my colleague recently coined. And it is appropriate, necessary, to feel a sense of shame for the pain caused by my semi-conscious state if I or we are to grow, to wish to grow. I cannot bypass my complicity. If I do, to the degree that I do, it will be a deterrent to growing my own heart. Our hearts are at risk if we deny, defend, avoid, pretend. We cannot progress on a path of spiritual development without discovering our imperfections and responsibly attending to them. That's our work, no one else's. And this is good news because this is seeing something that is very hard to see. The mind won't willingly wake up to its shortcomings. But as practitioners, as good human beings, we want to see them. For example, we want to begin to see the ways we've unconsciously participated in a system of oppression by not clearly seeing it, by not recognizing how we've benefited while others have been denied. This creates the possibility for change, the seeing of this. Of course, the pull of the mind will go back to sleep. That's its habit. Notice this. We want to stay awake, to not forget. This is where good friends come into play. We can help ourselves and each other remember what is too important to forget, growing the protectors of our heart and for the concern and welfare of ourselves and others. Because though I trust my good intentions, they are no guarantee that I'll see what needs to be seen. I can't trust my mind, Susan's mind, to monitor itself, but a good friend sees from a different angle, can reveal ourselves to ourselves. We need each other to speak the truth, to help us honor ourselves by upholding our values and good intentions. Good friends help us remember what is too important to forget. I need good friends who will, and we do, who will call us out when we say something slightly offensive. Not to be unkind, not to chastise, but because they were hurt, found it to be crude, insensitive, rude, unbecoming of our character. We want friends like that. And we want to feel and act responsibly and kind out of respect. This grows the empathetic resonances of Hiri Ottappa. This is the point of practicing mindfulness, to wake up out of our slumber, to see what is happening before our eyes, to feel with our hearts and to respond as skillfully as possible. Hiri Ottappa upholds self-respect, upholds respect for others' lives. Black lives matter, dear brothers and sisters. And Hiri Ottappa helps us keep that in mind. It's for our welfare. Let's help each other not forget out of kindness. Let's raise each other's conscience and conscious awareness and grow our hearts humble, wide, and deep. Hiri Ottappa helps us to be better human beings, better friends, and better ancestors. Thank you for your kind attention.